Hey, we're in the Babcox garage studio today, and I got some great new equipment and a great new friend from Hunter. Rick is going to talk to us about the Maverick tire machine and why you will want it in your shop. So joining us is Rick. He is our trainer, installation guru for the Cleveland area for Hunter.
Sir.
And you know, sometimes it's just a little easier to get somebody who knows what they're doing with a brand new piece of equipment that I'm not quite so familiar with and that I want to learn. And Rick is going to show us how. So Rick, tell us a little bit about the Maverick and what some of these benefits and features of having this kind of machine in the shop is going to be.
Sure thing. Like Joe said, this is the Hunter Maverick. It's the TCM. It is a step-down version of the Revolution tire machine.
And the Revolution's all automatic, right?
That is correct,
okay,
yes.
and this
yes.
one, you're going to give us a little bit more flexibility to do some things on our own.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's going to be completely manual control via the joystick panel here for all your dismounting and mounting procedures.
Excellent. What's going on here? This looks like a lot for a tech that may have never seen something like this. This can be a little intimidating, right?
Absolutely, yes. This is quite a bit different than our standard rim clamp machines with a standard bead breaker cylinder on the side shovel combination, and a levered mount head for the dismount procedure. Right here we have the rollers here on the upper arm. We also have an identical one on the lower. We have our mount head, which is not uncommon on a tire changer, and then we have our hook on the back side to dismount. We also have included in the package is a assist arm, so it kind of gives you that extra assist for
especially
dismount.
on those bigger tires too, some of those wider.
Yeah, we need them on those big sidewall tires to make sure we get in the drop center, and also on your run flat machine. So this is the guru. This is the one that does it all. It'll do everything from a super low profile race tire to a run flat to a big monster mutter.
Excellent. And what do we got here?
That is our optional wheel lift that comes on the tire machine. That'll operates off the pedal, so it's hands-free lifting the tire up onto the spindle.
That's
for
a
dismounting.
nice back saver, isn't it?
It is very much so. Yes.
Now the joysticks we were also talking a little bit about. You said that they're very sensitive and they're precise, right?
They are. Because this is a full hydraulic machine compared to a pneumatic machine, we can actually open and close valves at a progressive rate, pulse width modulated rate.
It's not on and off. This is actually
yes.
precision.
It goes as fast as you want it to go or as slow as you want it to go.
Why would a shop need something like this? Why would they want this in their shop?
Well, this is really the tire machine that does it all, that allows the technician to not have to touch the tire very often. So it really allows the technician to have precise control while dismounting and mounting the tire onto the wheel. And it also does it without damaging the wheels at all. You're never have metal to metal contact on the wheel.
And that's really important for some of these expensive high dollar rims, bigger rims, even two-piece rims, right?
That's correct, yes. These carbon rims now are close to $11,000.
Oh, well, I guess if you're gonna have that kind of money, you want a machine that can do it right without damaging these wheels.
You would definitely want to make that investment, yes.
Well, Rick, I want to show everybody how this machine works. Let's go through a mount and dismount procedure of a tire, and we'll do that on our next video, so stay tuned. Welcome again to the Babcox Garage Studio. Getting ready to do a little bit of a tire mounting and dismounting on our Maverick. Joining me is Rick Marzen from Hunter, technical wizard extraordinaire of this machine. He's gonna help me and help you understand how this works. We'll keep it easy on the first one, but the next couple videos, watch us do a 19.5 as well on this machine. So Rick, I want to watch and learn how to do a tire on this machine. Again, I come back from a little bit of an old rim clamp style,
right.
So this is a little intimidating. I did the hard part for you. I took the air out.
All right. Well, that's first step, right?
Yeah, I did the first step. That one I can handle. But can you just let's go through the procedure of mounting and dismounting a tire on this machine?
Sure thing. This is a standard rim, standard drop center tire, so we'll be mounting it onto the spindle the same way we would do any other wheel assembly. So our wheel lift control right here is our first pedal to the left. Up is up, down is down. So we're going to go ahead and lift up on the wheel lift pedal there, and we're going to go max height, and then we're just going to drop the rim down on and making sure that we locate our lug centric pin in one of these lug nut holes here.
It's nice,
So
very easy on the back.
Yes, I didn't have to.
Was it ergodynamic they call it?
Ergonomics don't come and play with this. Yes.
It's nice.
Yes.
But I can do this part so far. I'm good right now.
Cool. We're going to double tap the pedal. That'll allow our wheel lift to release and go back down. We're going to line up our center bore here, making sure our center cap's off because it is a center clamp machine. And we're going to grab our spindle lock here, clamp. We have a release knob here that allows these balls to retract and fit down inside the spindle. And then we're going to put it down all the way to the rim and then give it a snug real quick. And that's it.
Nice and easy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Our next step is we're going to go over to the joystick panel and set our rim diameter. We have to set the rim diameter to the rollers. Everything's timed so that once you set that rim diameter to the upper roller, everything will fall into place diameter-wise. So we're going to go ahead and line this up here. We're going to operate our joystick. Again, progressive controls. So as I move the joystick down, the corresponding part of the machine will head that direction. They are X and Y axis, so a little plus sign there. Bring that upper roller down close to the rim, and then we're going to come up to our diameter control button. It's the very top joystick here. This is just in and out. The spindle will move in and out to the roller itself, and then this part, if you see in the video, will rotate to the diameter of the tire.
Yeah, it is. It's adjusting accordingly. Yep.
So we're going to set that up, get it close, bring that roller down, and then we just want to set our spindle diameter to the upper roller just so that roller touches the rim. That's all. Once that's set, we can go ahead and go through the procedure of breaking the bead. We want to lower the upper roller just past the rim lip, and then we're going to indent pushing.
What about TPMS? What kind of position or should we worry about when you have a TPMS sensor?
When we're breaking the bead, we don't really have to worry about that.
Okay.
Because the roller will pass right past the TPMS. We're not going to go any further than the actual bead lip of the rim.
Okay.
And most TPMSs kind of suck in through the drop center anyway.
Yeah, a little bit up.
Yeah. So once we get below the rim, we're going to push the joystick to the left. That's going to indent our lower roller so that we can really grab that bead of that tire. Once that's done, we can go ahead and hit the rotate pedal in the clockwise rotation. And as that's rotating, we're just going to pulse down the joystick a little bit at a time, and that's going to break our bead. Once that's broken, we're going to lift back up on the joystick and get the roller out of the way. It will retract the indent position of the roller as you move that roller out.
Now, if we were taking this tire off to do a flat repair, good idea to put a little lube on?
Yes.
That? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time when you're doing an older tire, you'll hear creaks and pops and things like that. And lube does go a long way with dismounting. We're going to do the same thing with the lower bead. Again, we don't have to change diameter because everything's timed correctly. We have a mirror down here that'll allow us to visualize and see what that lower roller is doing, just like the upper roller was doing. We're going to go past our rim lip and indent and then rotate. And as we're rotating, we're going to, if we need to, we can take a little bit of lube and put that on the tire assembly there. And then we're going to keep pulsing that lower roller up until that bead's broken. Again, as soon as we lower the lower bead roller out of the way, it will retract so it can clear the rim lip.
Essentially, this upper and lower roller are basically the old shovels
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just not twisting that tire around, trying to break that bead in a million different places. The next step is we're going to line up our TPMS sensor with our mount head, just like a traditional tire changer. Again, our pedals are progressive also because everything's hydraulic. So the harder you press on the pedal, the faster the rotation is going to be.
And I remember I was seeing over here, if you don't remember where the TPMS is, they've got a diagram to remind you to where to line it up. It can sometimes be confusing when you're just starting off with a new piece of equipment.
Yeah, you tend to forget where to place things. We're going to lower this mount head. Same thing with the joystick. Down is to lower. We're going to bring it down into the rim lip, and we have an interesting cutout on the mount head here called Smart Set. And then we just want to gap that above the rim lip just a tiny bit. And if you forget, we do have a cheat sheet over here for that too. Once that's set, we can start lowering our hook. Just like the old tire levers, right? We used to pop them in the bead and then roll it over the mount head.
Yeah.
With this, we're going to do the same theory. We still got to get the tire up over the mount head. So we're going to do that with this back hook. We're going to move the joystick to the left and start lowering this down. You want to go slow with this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to start rotating to allow this hook to enter into this bead here. This is a perfect example of a tire that's going to be a stiff sidewall, and we might need a little help. So what we can use is our pusher right here. And we can actually start helping this tire come down and drop center so that hook can actually get to where it needs to be. In the old days, we used to grab the lever and then push down on the opposite side of the tire.
Yeah.
So we're just going to help this a little bit. Once that goes in the drop center, we have the pressure on the tire. So once that goes in the drop center, we should be able to do this in multiple parts. And once you hear that little snap, that tool hook's down, we're going to lower it and just take a peek and just make sure it goes over the lip. Once it is, again, we're still above drop center over here, so we still need to push that down because this is a little bit more difficult of a tire assembly. Once we're in drop center, we can start raising that hook now. One of the things you want to make sure you do is not move the actual tool head out of position because that defeats the whole purpose. So we want to keep that where it is, and we need to move the joystick to the right now for the tool hook, which is indicated on this diagram. Once we start going up, we're up over the rim lip there. We're just going to make sure the rest of our tire is still in drop center like it is, and then we can start rotating. Okay. Once that is done on our top beads off, we're going to go ahead and dismount our lower bead. To do that, we're a little unconventional, but we're going to use the lower roller to dismount that. We're not going to actually use the tool hook for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise that lower roller up and start kind of pushing on that bead, that lower bead. We're going to make sure our TPMS sensor is within the vicinity of that lower roller. We don't want it 180 out, but we want it close.
Okay.
Again, that reference to the sticker.
Perfect.
Once we come up, rotate a little bit, get that bead back off that wheel, get the mount head out of the way, and then we're going to start raising up. What you want to do with your left hand at this point, which is kind of the only other time I'm touching the tire, is you want to raise this up so that the bottom bead sits in the drop center. Okay, so you'll actually feel that when you raise it up. It'll be nice and like a wall that you hit there. We're going to raise that lower roller up till we see the bottom bead of the tire raise up above the rim lip there. Push the joystick to the left to indent, and then just grab the bottom of the tire and rotate as needed.
And that's that.
Yeah, so
it didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
That's why you bring in the professionals when you're trying to learn new equipment, because I would still be sweating.
Yeah, that's actually a really tough assembly to do.
Okay.
And you'd be working pretty hard on a conventional tire changer.
Absolutely,
for sure.
and again, it made it look really simple and easy, and you're got it down really well with this machine.
Right, with not a lot of time invested in
training
on
and practice. Right, practice is probably a big thing for a new tech using this.
Absolutely, yes. It's just like learning any other new piece of equipment. You have to invest the time into practice.
And hey, Hunter will come out and teach you on this stuff. Right. So the videos are great, but people like Rick are what set Hunter apart when they bring in the equipment. They don't just drop it off and say, good luck, thanks for the money. Correct. No, they're gonna invest the time to train you correctly on how to use it. And as a tech, that's the most important thing we need, is the training to use this correctly.
Correct.
Let's show them how to mount the new one.
Mount it up?
Mount it back up, yeah.
So we need a little bit of tire lube for the mounting process. And then before we start, we want to make sure that our TPMS is in the right position because we want the tire to fall down on that last. So I will typically put the TPMS in line with me. Again, that reference sticker is very helpful. We're going to tilt the tire down towards the mount head and then bring the mount head down and set it in the same position as when we set it for the dismount. So we're going to come down and make sure we have a little bit of a gap there. And then before we even start rotating, we're just going to kind of thread the tire on.
Give it a head start.
Yeah, and then we're just going to hit the rotate pedal clockwise and let the machine do the rest of the work. Falls right on. The second step is when a lot of times, and I think it's important to show, is when the tire falls down, it's possible that it can catch on the backside of this hook. And we don't want to do that because if we try to mount it in that position, it's going to try and dismount the tire at the same time it's trying to mount the tire. So we always train on the technicians getting into the habit of lifting up on the tire to make sure it's off the mount hook after the lower bead is positioned. Again, we're going to position our TPMS sensor at ourselves here. We're going to make sure the tire is down in drop center before we mount, and this is a stiff tire, so we're going to use all of our amenities that the machine has to offer. We're going to use our mount head, we're going to use our upper roller to help feed it into the drop center, and then we're going to use our assist arm to help maintain it in the drop center. Bring the upper roller down just a little bit lower than the bead of the lip of the rim here, and then we're going to use our assist arm and help keep that in drop center. So what I like to do is I like to start the process and see what starts to happen on that tire and then create that pinch point for the tire. We're going to bring that down and then start rotating. I like to do this slowly because you never know if you need to make an adjustment. But we're looking pretty good there. It looks like we're stretching here a little bit, so I'm just going to come back and get that back in the drop center right there. And that's it. So I think being mindful of what you're doing is still the process, right? You're still watching what you're doing, but you just have a lot less hands-on with this machine.
You're replacing a lot of the grunt work that you used to have when you're prying, or maybe multiple pry points to try. Yeah, you're letting the machine do all the work for you. And again, you didn't even break a sweat doing this.
No, and you don't have to have two guys helping you anymore. So you have all the things that you need right on the machine without having to go grab something. So it makes you that much more efficient. This
machine's great. Now all we have to do is we got an air inflation station.
Yeah,
set the tire pressure to what you want. It does it for you.
We have an air inflation hose right on the machine with the valve stem out. We also have an onboard bead blaster system.
That's nice to have it right there for you as a tech instead of having to kind of chase one down.
Yeah, it might be in use somewhere else too. We have a plus and minus sign here to increase or decrease our air pressure going into the tire, and then it auto sets by this gauge right here. So you just push the button and have it.
Away you go.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
It is easy.
I think for a new person using it, there is a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, if you take
could-
it slow.
Yeah, I think, but again, you guys come out and make sure that the techs are comfortable with it before they leave. You know,
Yes.
trying to kind of train them on it a little bit. And then again, once they get some time to practice with it, they're going to find out it's probably a really nice tool to have in their shop.
It is.
Yeah.
Upon installation, the techs get training by us, and we don't leave until each tech has an opportunity to change a tire in front of us. This way, if they run into a problem, we're there,
Yeah.
or we can stop them before they have an issue. But what I always like to see is techs taking advantage of the time, some downtime if need be, and practicing on the tire machine.
Of course, you guys would come back if they were still not.
Yeah, we always
you guys
make
don't,
we always make a cold call about 30 days later, and just make sure everything's going well with the tire machine and things like that. We give it a good once over, make sure we got no loose or worn out parts or things that need adjusting, and then we go over and make sure that the techs are comfortable still using it. And if they're not, we give them the time.
Perfect. Well, this is the easier mounting and dismounting of a standard stiffer sidewall tire. In the next couple of videos, let's get into some of the 19.5s or maybe a reverse drop center tire so you can see how it works and the adapters that we're going to use on this. Now I'm going to go back and practice on that, and hopefully my guys won't record that because that would be part of a blooper reel. But stay tuned for the next video, and make sure to check out the Hunter YouTube page for a lot of other learning opportunities, including ADAS, balancers, and tire machines. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll come back and watch us do another tire.